Hello, Indie Choice lovers. I am back with another episode, and you guys got a 2-for-1 today. So, this is the second episode of Sunday. I got a very good treat for you. Now, a little bit a while ago, you might have caught me. I saw a campaign that was called Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. And trust me, it took me a minute to hunt down his creator. But guess what? I have the creator, David Crownson, on the show today. And he is going to give us a little bit of insight on how he came up with the idea of making Harriet Tubman into a demon slayer. On top of that, I have questions from the audience that I'm going to ask David. So, guys, sit back and relax. It's going to be a very fun interview. So, here is David Crownson, the creator of Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Enjoy.
I'm eating, so I apologize.
No worries, David. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I came across your Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer comic, and I gotta say, man, I was like, this is awesome. Like, I didn't even look at your campaign. I just went to the link and backed it immediately because I'm like, Harriet Tubman fighting demons, bro. You can't get any more original than that.
Thanks, man.
No problem, dude.
You just made a black man blush.
I can tell this is going to be fun. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Let everyone know about your project. How'd you come up with the idea, man? Just let it all loose.
Yeah, okay. So my name is David Crownson. I'm the writer and creator of Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, and it is a comic book series that I'm the writer creator of again. And it's basically what it says. It's Harriet Tubman leading slaves to freedom and fighting demons along the way. It's a road trip comic book. it's a road trip movie comic book thing. Yeah, I came up with the idea during like a really dark, like, oh, can I curse on this?
Yeah, dude, go for it.
Okay, like I was having a kind of a dark, shitty time in my life, and my background is in acting and like auditioning, and I had a few auditions for like a few like high-profile projects, and I was just really under pressure to book one of these jobs. I really wanted to be an actor and shit, and I didn't get any of them. So I was like, fuck. So I was all like depressed and tired and overworked. My mom was just like, hey, if you don't get any of these jobs, you should like come live with us in Ghana, West Africa. So I was like, all right. I didn't get any of these jobs, so I guess my black ass was Julia Roberts. I love this shit. So I moved to Ghana, West Africa, and I highly recommend it. By the way, brothers, like take time away from America, just live in a different country for like as long as you can like afford to.
Okay.
Like I got like a little bit, I got lucky because my parents are like from there, so I got really lucky. Yeah, man, like it was a great experience. Just kind of like meditating to relax. People from Ghana are dope, amazing people. And one day I'm watching TV, and and the people who think Africans like live in huts and shit, and thinks we don't have got TVs. We have TVs. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. So I'm watching TV, and there's a documentary on Harriet Tubman. I love that mug. Holy shit.
Yep. This is my mug, man. Drink everything in it.
Goodness gracious. I feel like a disgraced nerd. Here I am drinking some bougie ass ginger freaking soda and shit. You're like drinking out of a Spider-Man mug like a G. I feel like a disgraceful nerd. Shit. Anywho, so basically I was watching this documentary and it was about Harriet Tubman. And I didn't know this. Harriet Tubman's like background and heritage is in Ghana, West Africa. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was from Ghana. So I watched and watched this documentary on my hands up. Harriet Tubman, it's great, it's amazing. And then I started channel surfing, and I stumbled upon Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
So but I had like kind of missed it. It was like toward the end of the movie, where it's like Zhang Zi fighting Michelle Yao with the katanas and stuff, and it's like such a dope, badass like baller fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
And so the movie ends, and then I stumble upon the Foreign Movie Network in Ghana, where they play foreign movies like Captain America and the Soldier. Well, I don't know. I just think that's funny.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, because it's just like you never. It's like, oh, like Chris Evans is exotic to you people, but y'all are the most like dope
Yeah, we're like,
exotic.
it's Captain America. Nah, it's another superhero. Whatever.
Yeah, they're like, look how exotic Chris Evans and Jeremy Renner are. I was
But
like,
can
what?
we just say like how Russia loves Captain America? Can we just throw that in the water right now? Because Russia apparently is like they love Captain America over there, and I find that like super ironic. But that's
Yeah, really?
yeah, dude, they love Captain America. Like all the Avengers I read, that Captain America is like all day over there.
That's gonna fuck me up. Goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put that in your head for a little while.
I gotta look at those movies differently now. So like, Forward Movie Network, and they're playing Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, and I'm like, yo, this is yo, about to be
Yeah, I watched that movie too, and I'm like, it was Abraham Lincoln, a vampire slayer. Then they did Hansel and Gretel,
yeah,
witch hunters, and I'm like, where are they coming up with these mashups? Like, who's coming up with these ideas to
yeah.
put?
I was like, yeah, I know the dude who did Abraham Lincoln, who did Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. His name was Seth. Damn, I know his name's Seth Graham or something. He's writing the Flash movie
Mhm.
right now. Good writer. He didn't do the Hansel and Gretel one because it fucking sucked. It's a terrible movie. I didn't like it, and I don't want to. It's hard to make things. It's really hard to make a movie great. It's really difficult. So I felt bad, like kind of trashing it. It's hard to make it. So, uh, anywho, I just was watching it, and it's not really good. And later on that night, I was writing like in a journal because I'm Julia Roberts, and I'm like writing in a journal like all my experiences in God of West Africa and shit. And these three words kind of popped up at me, and it was Harriet Tubman, katana fight scene, and witch hunters. And then I was like, Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. And I didn't know what it was. I'm like, oh, is it a movie? Is it a TV show? I ain't got the money to produce that shit. But I just thought it was a cool idea. Like, with Harriet Tubman, like, had superhuman strength and new martial arts, and fly around and like beat the fuck out of like 6'5" werewolves that are like racist and shit. That'd be dope. So like,
6'5" werewolves that are racist. I'm sorry,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, man. Like, I just thought it'd be cool. So, yeah, I'm just like, I knew what it was, and I had like when I was in Ghana, I brought like a mountain of like comic books with me. I had a whole bunch of like the entire Miles Morales run on
I have
me.
all of those too. Like I'm still
Yeah, man.
following it. Like from issue one, from 2000, like 9 when they first came out with it, or
Yeah, I think it's like 2010, 2010, 2011, something like
yeah,
that.
I follow that like clockwork. I love his story. I love his story. It's great.
Yeah, man. I think I kind of sort of fell off when they destroyed the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
yeah, like
Galactus showed up and something like
yeah,
that, right?
Galactus shows up, and then they freaking were like, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of the Ultimate Universe. We're gonna combine both universes." And I
Hmm.
was just that's when I kind of I fell off in like 2016, 2017. I kind of fell off
Yeah, that's
of
when they
it.
had like Secret Wars happening because I didn't read Secret Wars,
Yeah,
and when they relaunched Miles Morales, his mom was alive and like all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, what the hell happened? Who's your mom? And more importantly, and I guess they kind of answered this question of like, well, where's the Miles Morales of the mainstream Marvel universe? And he answered that question, but it was a weird answer. So
oh yeah, it
yeah,
was like it's like his hair isn't nappy, and
yeah.
like his hair is straight, and he's like a bad guy, and he's like
He's
I don't
Mexican
know,
too. Did anybody catch that? The dude was Mexican, like
he
full
was
on
like
Mexican.
straight up Mexican, not a hint of blackness. It was like platanos but no collard greens, you know. So, but whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, I just I had a bunch of Brian Michael Bendis' run of Miles's like the first like 3-4 years of that book. And yeah, I had a ton of comic books, but it's always registered to me like, oh, I'll make this a comic, but it didn't register till I got to the airport when I got back to America, and I saw like this how to write comic books by Brian Michael Bendis,
I
and
got that book.
Words for Pictures,
Yep.
and it was at the airport bookstore called Brookstone, and I was like, wow, I'm like, yeah, I'm making a comic book, got it. And then I took like a picture of it. I'm like, I'm gonna buy it from this expensive
No, like $30 for that book. No,
yeah, $44. So I was like, I'm like, screenshot Amazon $7.
Yep, there you go. Just have that shit at home right when you get home. Is at your doorstep.
Exactly. So yeah, I read that book and taught myself from that book how to make comic book scripts and all that good stuff. And yeah, and that was that.
That's cool, man. So what I do normally is whenever I see a Kickstarter that I back it first, and then I send it out to my followers and tell them, hey,
Thanks,
check
man.
this out. And then I get you guys on the show to talk to you about it a little bit more, so to kind of get the hype going. So this one was unique because when I posted it on my Instagram, I was excited for it. But then I got a lot of questions from other people who were like, okay, I need to know more. So I think I have like 3 questions that people want to know. Okay. And I'm going to warn you, they're a little racist. Okay. So, I mean,
it's fine. So am I. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So my first question came from one of my followers. I'm going to keep them anonymous. She wants to know if Harriet Tubman is a demon slayer, are the white people demons?
Yes.
Well,
yes, but like there's white, like there will be white demons and also there will be white allies.
Okay.
There will also be, I haven't introduced it yet. They're coming very soon. There's also, black people that are going to be some demonic coons,
Demonic coons.
Yeah, like.
That's funny.
Like what's her name? Like what's her name? Who worked for Trump? Omarosa's ancestor is going to be showing up soon. So, but yeah, but basically there will be both, black and white allies and both black and white demons.
So would you say like the whole story in terms of good guys and bad guys, like on both sides of the spectrum, black people and white people, would you say that it's kind of neutral on who's bad and who's good and vice versa?
I think that both strive, or they're just not informed. Like, I forget this girl's name now because I try to block her out. She was like, I think her name. I forget her name. She's kind of irrelevant as a person, but she's like a big like black female political figure, and she's always like supporting. She was supporting Kanye West when Kanye West went crazy last summer.
Candace Owens.
Yes, that's the woman. And like, I just think there's a extreme miseducation in how she presents certain facts. So like,
you know what? I'm just gonna come out and say it. I love Candace Owens. She's like one of my favorite political people. But hang on. I listened to her speak at my university. Like I was just like, oh, this is weird. A black Trump supporter. What is this about, right? But I'm open-minded, so I went to her speak, and she told everyone her story, how she was liberal, and then kind of converted over to being conservative, and her journey from that medium, from when she was liberal to when she was conservative. And it was really like eye-opening, because when you ask other people, and it doesn't matter what spectrum where you're at, whether you're black, white, immigrants, whatever, when you ask people why are they certain political beliefs, like why are you a conservative, why are you a liberal, most of the time people say, oh, because my family and friends are liberal or conservative, vice versa. They never really have a spectrum on their own to where like I'm liberal because of this or I'm conservative because of this. So when she opened the floor up and told us her story, it was kind of like one of those things like, why am I a liberal? And I couldn't answer that question. So like I commend her because she's not forcing people to literally go to the right. She's literally giving them like, think about what you're doing, whether you're going to be left or right, doesn't matter, but just make sure that whatever you stand for it. Otherwise you'll fall for anything. So I love Candace Owens. I love she's helping people to, especially African Americans, she's helping us to think more broadly with open mind. So that's just my 2 cents for sure.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm very open-minded, both sides for sure.
Oh yeah, I think like, I mean, that's great that she's able to, you know, independently, you know, think of like where she stands and kind of hold, trying to say something positive. Basically, be independent of certain, because I think, for me, I identify as moderate.
Okay.
I don't think I'm like, oh, I'm conservative or there are things I'm very liberal about. There are things I'm very.
And that's super rare because, like, in today's day and age, it's either you're like radical left or you're radical right. There's no one like you or me that's just like, I'm kind of in the middle, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still like it's like I lead more left, but there are things I'm very like crime and punishment. I'm very like, you know, conservative about, and what's it called? My liberal, but like art and creativity, you know, I'm very liberal. Like I'm very like, you know, that kind of sort of balanced on it.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing with her, with Candace Owens, is the only thing I kind of disagree with her about is, I think she, without getting too much into politics, I didn't make this comic about politics, I promise. It literally derived from, would it be cool if Harriet Tubman could beat up a racist werewolf? and then like we just went from there. No, I just get like, there are other facts that I think she kind of skids over and ignores as far as like, because I think the Republican Party, there are some problems, and I think both parties have problems, but I think actually both parties need to deal with, so there's lots of like problematic shit in the Democratic community, and but just now we're kind of going like, hey, like, you're just doing that bullshit for money. when
yeah, like I'm all about climate change. Like they're always pushing this climate change. Like climate change is a problem, but me personally, I don't think it should be politicized in a way to help you win an election. Because how many people have run on a platform like, I'm going to fix climate change, and none of that shit ever happened. That's kind of like my stance on that. Like, there's certain things that shouldn't be politicized, and there's certain things that need our attention. And honestly, as an American, I think we need to fix this shit here in the country first before we start branching out to, like, you know, other countries and their problems. That's just me personally.
Well, I mean, if we have like, I just want us to fix, you know, Detroit's water, like that, like that,
word.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. If we like that would just be cool. That's my 12 million cents.
Yeah, no, I think that like everybody should be having clean water. Like I don't even think Flint, Michigan has clean water right now. Do they? Did they fix that problem? No.
Actually, I think one county just got clean water.
Well, thank God. I mean, with all this other stuff, like every time I get on Twitter, dude, it's like walking into a wildfire. There's people arguing about the stupidest shit, and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, Flint, Michigan does not have clean water. Can we argue about something else, please? Like,
yeah, I think I saw something where it was like, I had posted this, like this guy posted it. White women, if you're watching this, I laughed really hard at this. I'm sorry. It was just like, it was something about like these white girls were complaining about like, we should have the right to not want to take a shower or shave our armpits. We can have them be as hairy as we want. It's our right. And
That
then we were
sounds like
like,
a
yo,
feminist.
it's like, yo, like Flipmode Street doesn't have any clean water, but like good for you.
Yeah,
Because
that's,
who the cares, guys? Like, who
if I can
cares?
smell you coming up the street, I'm going the other way. That's 100%. But
Oh yeah,
we,
and I mean, like, yeah, but you know, if that's what someone wants to do, like, hey, like that's them. But Flip doesn't have clean water.
for sure. So I shared your. Can you see your campaign on the screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Fantastic. So uh you're doing fantastic. Looking at this right now, you got 5 days to go. You got 380 backers. You need about 5,230 dollars to go. So
Yes.
this is literally like crunch time for you, man. This is literally you
Oh,
getting that
oh
last.
yes.
So
Yes, yes. Oh God, yes.
so here's my second question from another follower. They want to know, is the Underground Railroad going to be a factor in this story? Does
Yes,
that
it is.
exist? Okay.
Yes, it does. The Underground Railroad is a hellmouth that attracts all of these witches, werewolves, and demons and vampires.
So is there like a door from hell opened up and all these demons and monsters are pouring out, or have they been here the whole time?
They, it's a little bit of both.
Okay. You don't
It's a
have to
little
get into the details. You can just like, if you for the sake of
because I don't want to spoil
story.
it either.
Yeah, exactly. For
Um,
the sake of spoilers, you don't have to like explain it in full depth, but like a little general idea of what it is you're trying to do here.
yeah, I think the quick funny story. Um, I think I had a meeting with like a producer who wanted to turn, my comic into a TV show,
Hmm.
and I was like, cool, and I felt really like, you know, like honored to be even asked that. And he was like, hey, so where do the vampires and the demons come from in your book? And I'm like, oh, like I think some of them have always kind of been here and originated here. That's to answer your question. And some of them, just appeared. Um, and he was like, hey, how about we change it? How about we change it so it's that the vampires and demons are all foreigners from a different country? And I was like, what? He's
That
like, yeah,
sounds
we
kind of
can.
racist. Just a little
Yeah,
bit. Just a
he's
little
like,
bit.
we can tie it into everything President Trump is saying. You know what I mean? We can make Mexican demons.
Mm-mm.
And I was just like, no.
Like if you watch my previous interviews, I am heavily against any type of politics in any type of medium. Like using like comics or like TV shows or movies to sway someone's political awareness. Like I'm totally against that. Like this, your comic is different because it's taking history and giving it a concept that's fun and unique to readers, and I think that's cool. But I haven't read your comic yet, so I'm not really sure. But just judging by the way we're communicating, I don't think you have any type of political um, motif here with this comic. It's just something that's fun that you're trying to get out to the public.
Yeah. I think, I mean, there. If I don't, yeah, I don't think I put any. Someone was saying that I should make heavy political for it, and I was nah, because I think even like X-Men and like Black Panther, Avengers, Civil War, like there's politics in those books,
Hmm.
but the politics fit into the world of like the book.
Of the story, you need
Yeah,
that for like a concept. I get it.
yeah, and like Stan Lee when he was doing X-Men, it was just like Charles Xavier is Martin Luther King,
Hmm.
and Magneto is
Malcolm X.
and he did that like research to really get underneath. And he said the X-Men are freedom fighters, and for like civil rights, like that's the foundation that he used because he wanted to still tell like a cool, fun story and have superpowers and explosions, but he wanted to kind of like just like a little bit of medicine
Hmm.
in there. I kind of want to do that. I don't want to be like politics, black people. I don't want to like I don't want to like scream that shit. I'd rather like without giving away all of my stuff. I'd be kind of like, you know, very. It's like that. I'm not trying to put myself on this guy's level because I'm not. It's like that. Yeah, have you seen that Donald Glover, Charles Gambino video? This is America.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, he's like dancing and kind of like whatever, like dancing in the background, but all this crazy shit's happening in the background, but you can't really see it, you know, because it's out of focus and you're more like invested in it. You know, that's kind of what I want to do. If I do politics, like it's going to be of the world, and I'm not going to make it the icing. I'll make it sprinkles.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said before, you're not just throwing, you know, your political beliefs in there. And I know, like for example, Seth MacFarlane, like he does Family Guy, like he's so far to the left, like he's a leftist. I didn't know that he was a leftist because in his shows he doesn't push any type of political agenda. It's just funny comedy. Whether you're on the right or the left, he's going to make fun of anything he can get his hands on, just for the sake of, you know, his comedy platform. And I think that's cool, you know?
Yeah.
So cool. So last question from the lovable audience. Does any known historical figures, I won't say figures, events in Harriet Tubman's time, does that pop up? And is that relevant to the story? Does any of like during the time that she was there or alive, do you reference any of that?
Yes, there's one quick little reference in issue 1 to, well, read my comic, Will, shit. There's a reference to another figure who is, okay, it's Nat Turner. There, I spoiled it. But it's a very quick, it's just a quick reference. It could probably end up being like its own little prequel comic. But, you know, there's more stuff that'll happen. Probably not in this next run, because this Kickstarter is for issues 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to focus more on in history where people didn't know Harriet Tubman was doing this. Like her nickname, her code name was Moses. And people thought, oh, like it's a 6'6" super Negro who's doing this. They didn't know it was like a 4'11" black woman.
Yeah, I read that, and I think that was like senior class history, just to keep her name out of the public eye. That way, people didn't know that she was Harriet Tubman. You know, I mean, if you're doing anything that goes against the impression of society, you want to use an alias so no one kind of catches on to who you really are. Like that's like Anarchy 101.
Exactly, like, you know, that's her like vigilant superhero like name. You know, Bruce Wayne isn't gonna go out at night like without his mask and without his voice modulator, or, you know, he's gonna put on a mask and he's gonna say, like, I'm Batman. It's gonna be a symbol, you know. But this part of the comic is based on history where it leaked, like where they found out that that she was Harriet Tubman, and they found out that she was leading people to freedom. Like, and then so they found her name, and it was a very dangerous time because she has children. Mm-hmm. She has family members. And so now they're all in danger. So there was like this big, like, epic, like, dog hunt, like, with dogs and everything chasing Harriet Tubman. And there was a bounty on her head for $45,000, which with inflation is $45 million for today. And she was considered the most dangerous person, not woman, not man, person in America in like 1855. Like because she was leading slaves to freedom, you know, so she's like the most wanted person in like history in that time.
That's fantastic. Can I just say, I love how you kept her signature red headscarf on. I love how you just kept that on there. Because I was like, wait, that looks familiar. And I was like, oh, no, she wears that in like all the textbook description of her. She has this red little headscarf. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man. And like when me and Will were drawing it, Will was drawing it, I was like, yo, man, you gotta make her look like a ninja with that headscarf, like just make her look like I just wanted her to like look like a powerful like ninja warrior. So he was like, okay, and I gave him like a bunch of like references, and I think like what's it called? Yeah, I gave him like a ton of stuff, and he was like, okay, I got it.
So, all right. So I lied. I actually have one more question for you, and this one has
That's
been
fine.
asked. It's been asked dozens of times, and I don't know if you can give me an answer, but I think I know the answer to it, but just for shits and giggles, does Harriet Tubman team up with Abraham Lincoln to kill vampires?
No.
Oh,
Well,
why?
like not okay. Hey, not in these next few issues.
Okay.
Maybe he'll show up in like another volume.
But
I don't know.
like you could do like, okay, so Abraham Lincoln like abolishes slavery, right? Like it's gone, it's out, and then all the white people, all the slave masters, turns out, oh look, they're vampires, and so Harriet Tubman is like, yo, Mr. President, we have vampires, and he whips out his axe. He's like, you gonna help me? And boom, there you go.
Well, like if I were to do it, if I were to introduce Abraham Lincoln like the way I want to for the comic, like I might get in a little bit of trouble because
Yeah, because it's copyrighted. I mean, it'll be
no
fun.
no
Like
no
maybe
no
like, go ahead.
no it's not that. It's anything that is before 18. I think 1866. There's no copyright infringement. It
Oh,
didn't exist till afterwards.
oh,
There are certain. Okay, I respect Abraham Lincoln for taking a bullet and for abolishing slavery, for literally taking a bullet and abolishing slavery. And, seems like a very nice guy, but there are certain things historically that I'm kind of finding out that it turned out that one of the reasons why he wanted to, I could be wrong, or I'm praying I read this wrong, that one of the reasons why he wanted to abolish slavery was because of like Social Security, and we could all like, oh, if black people are free, we could do this, we could pass this thing called Social Security and get people to work, and it actually helps the economy better. And it kind of wasn't through like a human, this is wrong choice. It was more of like a business choice.
mm-hmm.
So it makes me like look at Abraham Lincoln like a little bit differently.
I don't know, because I think Social Security, I don't think that came into effect until one of the Roosevelts. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt put that in order back in like 1930 something. But again, I could be wrong. It's kind of hard to, because so many people are saying so many things about history that you wouldn't normally learn in school. They're saying all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, this is one of the reasons why I want a time machine, so I can go back and verify some of this stuff, because
Oh yeah.
it's spreading a lot of disinformation to where people are just saying things without any factual knowledge of it. And I think that's a problem in society, because you got so many people talking about so many different topics, and they're literally letting their opinions come off as facts. And I'm like, no, you kind of need factual evidence to kind of support where you're arguing. And even when it comes down to finding evidence, you can Google like anything that's in your favor, that's biased to your opinion, and find articles on that. And you got to check sources. You got to make sure this is accurate. And that's a huge problem, because people can go online and find literally anything to support their argument. And sometimes that's misinformation, and people aren't realizing that, no, that's not really true. Like, I heard that the Planned Parenthood woman who came up with Planned Parenthood was a racist and wanted to exterminate the black community by abortion. And I'm like, oh, is that true? Because I really need to see evidence on that. You just can't walk around spewing that
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood is racist. Like, that's a bold accusation. I need evidence. You got a time machine? Let's go back and meet this chick. I want to see for myself. Like, just shit like that I want to just like verify, because it gets me thinking like, what if? But if no one has any evidence, people normally take it as fact, especially when it comes down between race. Like, if it's something that's racial, people would believe it like that. And I'm like, that's a huge problem, that if you're not supporting evidence in your argument, people are already just going to believe you. Like that's not good. That's not good at all. But I see where you're
Yeah,
coming from.
Google is your friend.
Google is your friend, but it sometimes can be like the worst enemy because anybody can put anything online to support any type of opinion, political, but any opinion. Like people are talking about aliens are buried underground and they got all this evidence to support it. And I'm like, well, where'd you get this evidence that a big ass UFO is burying into our planet? Like, I'm pretty sure if there was a UFO digging into our planet, we would see it. Like, it's just not gonna teleport into our mantle and there it is. Like this shit like that. Like, no, there's not a UFO burying into our ground. Like, this isn't War of the Worlds. Like, we would have scientific evidence to suggest that aliens are living in our core. Just saying. Like, just saying.
Oh yeah, I just think, I think, especially nowadays, we should be really careful what we say, what we put out there before, like, being like, this is because I said so. Like, because because I said so isn't good enough. Unless, like, depending on, like, certain things, like, if someone is abused or hurt, then I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of have to. Then why would you make that up? Like that's me. But yeah, man. I just think for the book, I would probably make, because it would shock. Don't tell anyone this. You're recording this. Like I think it'd be interesting if Harriet Tubman and Abraham Lincoln didn't get along. Like I think, I would play it like that, because everyone's like, oh, they'll team up and they'll get along amazingly, and I'm like, you gotta understand, these are two different people.
Yeah.
From two totally different worlds.
Now, when you said that they wouldn't get along, like, I'm just gonna come out and say it, I didn't take that as like the reason they don't get along is because it was racial. Like in my head, I'm like,
oh no,
well, maybe it's something else that they don't get along, that they don't agree with, and they don't get along. Now that's a great concept that you would say that Harriet Tubman and Abraham Lincoln, if this was a thing, they wouldn't get along. Most people would be like, oh yeah, because he's a white guy, and I'm like, no, because
like Harriet. Sorry for interrupting you. Again, like I'm going to be introducing people who are white allies that Harriet Tubman's going to have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did we lose you? We are experiencing technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Yes. Oh, there we go. You're back. You got to say it again. You froze.
Oh, okay. No, I just think from a class perspective, like Harriet Tubman's literally been, well, not literally, she's been underground, helping people and really risking her life and putting her life out there. Like I would play Harriet Tubman like Captain America, and I would play Abraham Lincoln like Tony Stark.
that I'm looking forward to that. Like if you do that, you already got a backer, and I have a whole audience of people who watch my interviews. Just from that statement alone, I can guarantee you, if you go with that line, with that concept, you will get backers for that. I can promise you that for sure. Oh, you're frozen again.
Decent now.
Okay, there we go. So you kind of froze again. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. You froze when you were like, "Oh, you should do." Like as soon as I said that, I would make Harriet Tubman Captain America, and I would.
Yeah. You should. Okay, so you should do that. Because that's a great concept. I would love to get into that because everyone loves the dynamics between Cap and Tony Stark for sure.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, so we are kind of getting into some technical difficulties now. So I'm going to wrap this up really quick with a couple more questions. It says that you're doing issues 3 to 6 right now. Where can people get issues 1 and 2?
You can get issues 1 and 2 digital copy. You can get them on Comixology.com.
Okay.
It's an Amazon company. If you want a physical copy, I think Peep Game Comics, they're not doing physical copies right now. But if you just you can Venmo or PayPal me, and I can have it shipped to you. So
Okay.
contact me, or if you really want it, just want to help me out, and you want issues 1 and 2, you can go on the Kickstarter and you can order issues 1 and 2. We have it as a thing for
Oh,
issues 1
okay.
and 2
Okay.
edition. It's like I think it's like a $10. It's like it's $10
Okay.
basically.
Okay. So that's good to know. I see it right here. Let me go back so the audience can see really quick. Give me a second. All right. Can you see your Kickstarter?
Yes, I see my Kickstarter.
All right. So we have the $10 one right here that comes with issues 1 and 2 to print. And do you have a tier where you can get all the issues together?
I think all I have there. I think it's the $350 tier where you get the separate issues 1 and 2 and issues 3, but with also trade paperback poster and a T-shirt.
Okay.
But the tier that most people want is the early copy of the graphic novel, which is 25 you get the 108-page graphic novel, which I think I'm going to have it launch in February.
All right. All right. Oh, I think we lost him. Give us a second. Give us a second. Might have to edit this out. Okay, there you go. You're back. All right. Last question. Real quick. You got 5 backers. You got about 5 grand to go. When the Kickstarter is done, how long will it take for you to get the book out to backers?
Depends on what they got. The 180-page trade, everyone will get that in December. It'll be a Christmas gift.
Cool.
Because it's
Sorry, guys. I will ask him the question again.
Wait, say it again?
I said he kind of froze. You said they were beginning in December to trade paperbacks.
Oh yeah. The trade paperback is going to come. People that backed us for the 108-page trade, they're going to get that in December of 2019.
Okay.
The people that backed to get single issues, those will come almost immediately, because
Okay.
all I'll do is basically hey, look, you want a copy shipped to you, your address, my warehouse that I print through 133 Art, they'll ship those out immediately.
Okay.
Issues 3, 4, 5, and 6 still need to be drawn. That's why I did this Kickstarter, so I can pay the artist to draw it, and that takes a couple of months of production, because we want it to be beautiful and nice. And so I think they'll probably be done around Thanksgiving, or actually if they end up being finished earlier. I think Portland is going to be drawing most of it, and he might finish faster than I thought. We'll see, but I'm saying December for
Okay.
now.
Sounds good. All right, David, thank you for coming on the show. It's been fun. I'm sure me and a lot of other people who have backed your Kickstarter were excited to get our hands on a copy for sure. So
Thank you.
if you do issues after issue 7, 8, or 9, let me know, because we would love to have you back on the show for sure.
Oh, thank you. Oh, they will. There's this whole entire issue 6 ends on a big cliffhanger.
Oh,
So
and I'm definitely going to be backing your next campaign then, if that's the way you're selling it for sure.
yes, it ends on a big fat ass cliffhanger.
All
So
right.
there will definitely be issues 7, 8, 9, 12, and 13.
For sure, man. I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for coming on the show, man. It's been great.
Awesome, man.
And I will talk to you later, good sir.
Awesome. Thanks,
Actually,
Will. Yes.
I'm going to stop the recording. Just
Okay.
stay on the line, okay?
Got it.
All right. And that wraps it up for this episode of Indie Choice Picks. If you like David's concept of Harriet Tubman being a demon slayer, guess what, guys? There's only 4 days left in his Kickstarter. You need to go to the link. I'm going to paste it in the description and give him something to help him reach his goal, okay? Tell your friends, tell your family. I personally think that this is an awesome concept, and I have already gone on ahead and backed it, and I cannot wait to read what David has. A little bit of a side note, though. If you're a little bit uncomfortable with the politics we discussed in this segment, I apologize right off the bat, but I do want to make one thing clear. It doesn't matter what background you come from, what opinions you have. I would still like to have anybody on the show just to talk, and that's what I believe all artists and all creators and anybody with a difference of opinion should do is sit down and talk. All right. So, in the words of Jerry Springer, and I can't believe this is actually Jerry Springer, take care of yourselves and each other. If you are an indie artist and you want to come on the show, please find me on Instagram at Will@Heroic Studios or on Twitter, Heroic_Studios. I am looking to finish up my June calendar. So if you are running an indie comics campaign, such as Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or you're just doing web comics on Tapas or what's the other one called? Webtoons. Let me know. Give me the link. Show me some information. Let me know what you guys are up to. And I would love to have anybody who's willing to come on the show and talk. Until next time, you guys, I will see you again with another fantastic indie artist. Just make sure if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And of course, like the video. Share this video, of course. And make sure you guys are supporting indie artists everywhere. Until next time, see you later. Deuces.